Music starting in 3, 2, 1.
Let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. About to start the show, better take your seats. It's been a while, but I'm back on top. To the world is mine, I don't plan to stop. It's time to let the curtain rise. We're gonna shake the room, we're gonna hold the night. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready? Welcome to Homegrown USA, guys, where we demand the truth, we read our Bibles, and home remedies work. Before we start the show, I wanted to thank Janine for the card and let you know that what you have made photocopies of, I'm going to try and get some of them out your way. Thank you so much for the card. It made my day. You guys, we have got to ask common sense questions, and nobody's asking them. And I've seen all week long for 5 days, I have researched this, and I came across something that's absolutely it's unbelievable. We're going to do a short show that you guys can pass along, because this will probably be the most important show I ever did. And let's just get to it. So welcome in, guys. Good morning. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I'm going to show you guys some things that hopefully shed some light on a lot of the current events. And yeah, so everyone knows this map. We show it on every single show. And you guys, what do I say? This is air now. Air now, type in your zip code, check your air out, make sure you have healthy air to breathe. That's the normal show. I mean, every single show going all the way back to the beginning, I felt it was important to show air now, right? So we know what we're breathing, because the PM2.5s are, well, they're microscopic, and the PM10s are also. And that stuff can get in your bloodstream, and you don't want that. So this map has been on all the shows, and you guys who are subscribed are very familiar with it, because I let you know, obviously, what states are bad. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the current air in our country. Now, of course, a lot of us are saying, well, yeah, we got this, dust coming in, and yeah, we're expecting that. And what's the big deal, Homegrown? I'm going to show you the big deal, because it's a very big deal. And I think that a lot of people are missing it. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But this is pretty amazing, and I will give all credit, all glory to the good Lord, because I couldn't have found this myself. I stumbled on it, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So this is the current situation, and you guys, this ain't good. This is not good at all. We got reds down here in Mexico. Dallas is red, orange, and we all know, if you look at the chart, they're unhealthy. Increased aggravation to the heart and lung disease, premature mortality in persons with cardiomyopathy disease, and the elderly. You guys are going to catch on to what I'm saying. Increased respiratory effects in general population. So this is going to cause problems for the general population in the red. And you get up to the orange here, and it's increasing likelihood of respiratory problems in sensitive individuals, aggravation of heart and lung disease, and premature mortality in persons with cardiomyopathy disease for the elderly. So that begs the question to say, we got bad air. And I always tell you guys to check your zip, to go to air now, because most of us have the N95 masks, or the N99 masks. Well, the N95 and the N99 masks, one removes 99% of the particulates, or PMs, particulate matter, and the other one removes 95%. I think I said that right, but don't hold me to it. I've been working on this show for like 4 hours trying to get everything up and running, so please bear with me. So back to this. So we know it's unhealthy. They've told us that. It's kind of common sense, but I'm going to show you what's not common sense. We have been drilled with this same NASA image, okay? So the stuff is coming off here and it's blowing over here and it's coming in, and it's going up through the US. That image is pretty much ingrained in our head. But what I wanted to show you is just to remind everybody that PM2.5s and PM10s, the difference in particulate air pollution. Now, when I say to add some common sense to this, there is a difference, but not much. So you see, this is a human hair right here, the size of a human hair. PM2.5, of course, they blame it on combustion, particles, organic compounds, sands, dust, whatever it is. But you can see how small this is compared to a grain of sand. And the PM10s are just as small. So these two compounds are very important because they go directly into your bloodstream. They cross the blood-brain barrier and they're finer than, well, dust or sand. So my first question was, well, I saw this and said, this is for this morning. Welcome to Saturday. I noticed the rectangle and said, wow, that's most likely not caused by nature because, well, nature doesn't have squares in it. So as we move along, I don't think we're going to see anything yet this morning and on the NOAA things here, but I'm going to get to the point. You have to ask yourself, guys, if this actually was a storm, if this was a storm that started at the Sahara Desert, as I don't think there's any volcanoes there, right? No. I mean, it's a desert. But a storm lifted tons and tons and thousands of pounds of dust up into the atmosphere, drug them the wrong way across the ocean, dust over water, 95% humidity, and it didn't turn to mud. When I was a kid and we saw dust, it would rain, it turned to mud. That's my first question. How does the dust get there to here? And I'm sure you guys can answer that in the comments. I'm not trying to be a wisecrack or nothing. It just bothers me because I don't understand all this. But the stuff that I do understand is important. So we've got tons and tons and tons of particulate matter that is crossing the Atlantic Ocean and coming to the U.S. Here's what's peculiar about that. I spent 5 hours on YouTube, and you can see the dust. You can see it. You can't see the storm, and you can't see what started it. So how did they get all this dust? How do you get that dust in the air? Bear with me. So I was looking at this. If you guys remember Mount St. Helens, that was in 1980. I was a young man at the time, and Mount St. Helens was out west. Yeah, 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. Now, this is a volcano. It's equal to 26 megatons of TNT. Yeah, guys. Helens released 24 megatons of thermal energy, 7 of which was direct result of the blast. This is equivalent to 16,000 times the size of an atomic bomb. What's going on over there in the desert? A storm? You see what I'm saying? Mount St. Helens was back in 1980 when the weather moved from west to east. And I lived in Pennsylvania at that time, and we had dust on the cars. Oh, but you say, well, we've had bigger volcanoes. And, I mean, they've put ashes all over. They have. But the significance of the volcanoes and how much power it would take to put this stuff that we're seeing in the atmosphere is absurd. So the question would be, did they light a bomb and just say, boom, bring up some winds and blow a fan? Something doesn't add up. And I'm going to show you what doesn't add up. It doesn't add up at all. And this is just questions no one's answered. What's Sahara? What is the Sahara dust? Give me the definition of what Sahara dust is. Does it have aluminum in it? What is it? What is the base component of Sahara dust? It's easy to say, hey, we're getting Sahara dust. It's coming up through the country. It traveled thousands of miles across the water. It didn't turn to mud, and here it is. The question is, if it's a particulate matter, which it is, what are the compounds? What's the components? Because it's on a molecular cellular scale. When we breathe this, it crosses the blood-brain barrier, it gets in our lungs, and it gets in our blood system. And I'm going to show you guys how tiny it is. You need a microscope to see this stuff. So does it have aluminum in it? Does it have iron in it? Does it have titanium in it? Is it carrying bacteria? After all, the symptoms to this dust is almost exactly the symptoms that we're dealing with the other problem. You follow what I'm saying? So let me show you what I found. So here we are. I mean, I remember this barely. I was a very young child, but 24 megatons of thermal energy, 7 of which was direct result of the blast. These are megatons, equivalent to 16,000 times the size of an atomic bomb. And they're saying this is just a storm. So massive Sahara dust plume now in the Caribbean Sea to complete a 5,000 mile journey. This thing's going 5,000 miles across the ocean. And if you look at all the NASA stuff like this, it'll show it to you. Now keep in mind, NASA is the same folks that, well, we can't get to, a lot of stuff we can't do anymore, but it almost gets to where some of this stuff looks like cartoons. Like, look, this is a cartoon. This is not. And I started wondering the size of this storm. Now, you think about this. Mount St. Helens blew up over here in the west, and it traveled this far, right here. This went from one continent to another continent. So my question is, how much nuclear power did it take to get that stuff up in the atmosphere? How many megatons? Because I've checked the wind over there for the last 5 days, and I'm going to show you. It comes down and it goes about 35 miles an hour. And at different levels, you can see how it could possibly get here. But again, I don't think this was created by a thunderstorm or just a windy event. Something else is going on here. And again, what is the definition of this stuff? What's in it? After all, we have to breathe it, and it'd be nice to know, right? I'm going to show you that. This is the worldview map, and there's a reason I don't use it on the show. And you're like, why wouldn't you use the worldview map? That's a good map, right? Well, the reason I don't use it is it's a map. And you can scroll in here, and it's never on the day that you say. See, it says 2020 down here, July 24th, right? Okay, so here we go. The 26th, but look at the 27th. The 27th will not be done till later. I think it comes out at midnight. I'm not sure. Again, I don't use the map often because it's put out by NAS. So let's just go to the 26th, which is yesterday, because of course it's always behind. And we'll put on some filters here and do NASA's little hat trick and see what's going on. So this was, again, the 26th, because we can't see what's happening now. But we got this current stuff coming in, and this changes, guys. If you watch anybody who shows this map, this was bright red about 7 hours ago, and there was another huge storm coming off the coast. Let me see if I can find it and back it up one more day. So here it is. Here we go. This is the 25th, and you see all the dust coming across. It's still coming. That's the point. It's still coming across. It's still moving. So we got all this that's coming in, and we have all the more coming. So I know by Tuesday it's supposed to clear up, but this is still coming across. We didn't see this yet. Again, this is the 25th. This is only a day ago. I mean, if you think about it. So we got all this dust that's still coming our way, and we're dealing with this right here now. Again, it's a NASA map. It's never on time. It's always a day behind. So this is showing you the 26th, which would have been yesterday, and you can see it's changed. But if you zoom in here, you know, you can still see this stuff. Now, if you look at the side of the country here where this stuff's supposed to be coming off, no one's asking the question, what about these countries? And I'm going to show you that in a minute by an independent person. Health and environmental effects of particulate matter. Okay, here you guys go. Does this sound familiar? Premature death in people with heart and lung disease, non-fatal heart attacks, irregular heartbeats, aggressive asthma, decreased lung function, increased respiratory symptoms such as irritation of airways, coughing, and difficulty breathing. Okay, people with heart and lung disease, here you go. Is this a clue? Children and older adults are the most likely to be affected by particulate pollution exposure. This is out from the EPA. Now, I kind of put this together because it has the exact same effects as the other stuff does. It affects your airways, you can't breathe. Let me continue. I'm going to show you guys what I found, and thank you for sticking with me. So I got into this, how to choose the right face mask to protect yourself from particulate matter. It goes into surgical mask. They don't work. They are not designed to protect from inhaling airborne bacteria, viruses, and fine particles. Respirators, right here is what you need to use. Disposable respirators are masks that have the word NOISH and either N95, N99, or N100. These masks right here work for particulate matter, as we talk about in every show. This is, like I said, I can't believe I found this, but I have family and I have friends in Puerto Rico, and I can vouch that we have swollen eyeballs. Yeah, people's eyeballs are swollen up. And in Puerto Rico, they say when you breathe this stuff, they can't get it out of their lungs, guys. So I'm going to show you. This is insane. African dust storms reaching Puerto Rico. This almost is like a test. It says NCBI, PMC, the U.S. National Library of Medicine and National Institutes of Health. Interesting, right? Read this with me. African dust storms reaching Puerto Rican coast stimulate the secretion of IL-6 and IL-8. Well, there's a trip right there. If you go and type in IL-6 or IL-8 into Google, you're going to find inflamed everything. It inflames things. It secretes stuff that inflames. It makes your eyes bigger. You need steroids to put in your eyes so your eyes stop swelling. It's nasty. It's bad stuff, and it's coming here. And not many people are paying the attention that they should to it, because I'm going to show you. This is just insane because, look, IL-6, right? So you guys can check this out and do this yourself. IL-6 and IL-8, but here's the most critical part. So let's start from the beginning. African dust storms reaches Puerto Rican coast, stimulate the secretion of IL-6, IL-8, and cause cytotoxicity to human bronchial and the cells that go down, it basically go down your throat. But this is really crazy, guys. It's called the BEAST2B. Parentheses. Yeah, you're seeing that right. BEAST2B. Two. T is two. Beast to be? It's the beast to be. Yeah, you're reading it right. Beast to be. So I was really curious about this word because, after all, this is coming out of a good source. It's a document. You can look it up yourself. It causes cytotoxicity. All right, cytotoxicity. Cells exposed to cytotoxic compound can respond in a number of ways. Okay, tell me. If the insult is lethal, the cells may undergo narcosis, during which they lose membrane integrity and die rapidly. Or the cells may follow another pathway of cell death, such as apoptosis or autophagy. I don't know how to say these two words, and that's okay. Cells exposed to sublethal insult may stop activity, stop growing and dividing, and decrease cell proliferation. You guys, this, I think, is more important than anything. Why do I say that? It's ironic that all this is happening and people are just saying, oh, it's just some African dust coming here. We're going to, just no big deal. But at the same time, as you turn the news and the TV on, the next big thing's already here. Florida's, oh, it's off the charts. And I mean, I put two and two together, and guys, this is what I'm getting. And I'll tell you why. Because if you go to here, where's the US? This is the worst. South Africa, India, Iran, Argentina, Mongolia, Japan, China, Mexico, Pakistan, Australia, United States. These are the worst countries for air quality. I've been looking at this for 5 days, and I think this is the best it's been. We're normally in second or third place next to India. And this is everywhere. And you can see they're rated by scores. So, you know, the Philippines is a 43. But yeah, the US is always in the top 10 worst. So I fell upon this, and I'm like, I have to show you guys this because it's interesting. You would think if you go to the Weather Center, you could find what's going on. So here's the national forecast chart for, let's see, day 1, which would be Friday the 26th. Let's refresh this and get this current. Okay, so day 1, now I took day 3 out. So day 1 is June 27th, Saturday. So we got thunderstorms, it says over here, and over here heavy rain and flash flooding. You would think it'd have, like, you know, some stuff. I've searched this. Day 2, you got bad weather here, and fires out here. But it doesn't really say much about what's going on other than the maps that we've seen a billion times. So I fell upon this, and here was the key that showed me everything. This, my friends, is, as you can see right here, PM, it's right up top here, PM25s. Hopefully you can see this. Let me see if I can drop that down a little bit. PM25s, World Air Quality Forecast, 8 days, PM25 prediction. Now, let's look at what really is going on with particulate matter. So, as you guys can see, right here is the Sahara Desert. This is the stuff coming off the Sahara Desert, and it's so full of stuff, and this is the US here. So it's coming off the Sahara Desert, and yes, guys, the entire United States gets filled with this stuff. So what they're showing us on these maps is it's just coming this way. It doesn't show it going the other way. It's not showing this side of the world. So you see, guys, everyone is involved in this. Everyone. The air quality is bad, and I don't know. Again, if it's a volcano, whatever they did, whatever happened, whatever natural phenomena happened to make this dust, quote unquote dust, nano particulate dust happen, is going east and it's going west. Look how far up this guy. It goes all the way across the world. So why is that cause for concern? Because the next event is going to be a worldwide event, and it's supposedly going to do a lot of bad things to a lot of people. And I saw this map and I said, bingo. Here is the next. Yeah. Could it be? I don't know. All I'm saying is, when you research this stuff, it's not good. So we go to the Ertnall. Now, this is 2026-27. So this is the 27th. This is today. As you can see right here, this says particulates. This says PM10s. This is the PM25s. So right here is the 25s, the PM10s. And I'm going to show you how big these things are. So as you can see, right here in the US, it's red. It's bad. But look here. Look how much more there is to come. It keeps coming, guys. So I've got a recommendation on how we can stop this. Let me find a tab and show you guys how big this stuff is, because it's absolutely unbelievable. So here we go. So you guys take a look at this. I'll increase this and show you what I'm saying. This is a PM10, okay, from what they're showing. This is a PM2.5. This is a bacteria, which is bigger than a PM25, and this is a red blood cell. So like I said, this stuff here, you can't see it. It's impossible to see this stuff. So you got a SARS virus, PM2.5. All this stuff is microscopic. So I've kind of come to the conclusion that if you could picture like 10 blood cells, let's say 1,000 blood cells floating around the room, right? So we got 100 blood cells floating around the room. You're breathing that stuff in. You can't see it. Like, you can't see that stuff in the air. And when you can see it, I'll show you pictures in a second. When you can see it, how much are you breathing in? What's getting in your blood? Is it bacteria? Is it what is in this stuff? Again, what's the definition of Saharan dust? I remember smart dust about 5 years ago, where everybody was going to have smart dust, and you know, the computer would turn on when you went to work. What exactly is this? Because as you can see, it's spreading worldwide. So I had to show you guys this because I think it's a big deal. I'm going to walk through these tabs and show you just one more time. There's nothing on air now. And, you know, we show this page every show. Nothing on air now to see, except for how bad it's becoming already. This is how big this stuff is. Microscopic. You know, it's just unbelievable, guys. And I had to bring it out and tell you. I mean, after all, what are they doing? What is it doing? What is the nature doing? What is happening for this storm to come this far across? Okay, there's that map again. To come across the ocean where it's the most humid part on Earth and not turn into mud. So I have a recommendation, and I was talking to a lot of the people in my circle, a lot of the family members, and one of the family members said, you know what we should do? You know, it'd be probably the smartest thing to do is till Tuesday before the next one comes, because we got one coming this morning, and it's going to be in the States this morning. You need masks, or you're going to be breathing this stuff. If not, this is the most fantastic idea, and I did it to the whole house. I went out and bought these things. I've used them many times before, like to winterize the house in the winter. It's just a little kit, a little window kit. It's a 6-window installation kit. I'll show it to you. And this stuff is so easy to put up. Basically, I'll show it to you. It's so simple. And I'm hoping that this blocks some of the dust. If you have especially elderly people or children in the house, I'm going to show you how this stuff works. It's really simple. So it comes with this double-sided tape right here, and you just take the double-sided tape and you run this tape around the window on the trim. After you run that around the window on the trim, you pull the coating off, you pull the tape off, and it becomes a sticky back on both sides. Then you stretch this stuff across your window right here. You just take this, go across the window like this, and you stick it, and then cut the excess. Sorry about that. Cut the excess off, and then this thin stuff unwraps. Stick it on the window, take a hairdryer to it, and it seals perfectly. I thought, you know, if I could help someone out that way, and you guys, this is cheap. You go to the hardware store, they have all different sizes, all different kinds. It's not expensive, but my thinking is that this might stop some of the stuff from getting in our homes and stop, you know, us from breathing it. So prayer requests, as always, are in the comment section. You guys let the prayer requests down there. I'll pray for you, and someone will give you a thumbs up and pray for you. Times are not fun right now. They're definitely not easy, especially when we got this stuff going on. And please let in the comments what you guys think about this. I mean, really, how much energy would it take to put that much stuff in the sky and move it the wrong direction across the ocean? Or am I wrong? I'll be wrong. I've been wrong before. And if so, how could a storm possibly... I think they said it's like 30 trillion tons. I forget. It's some number that's so big it's not even... I can't comprehend it because I lived through Mount St. Helens. And I showed you how much TNT it took just to put it across dry land. And it went from, out west, and it went the whole way across, and we had the stuff on our cars. But it wasn't traveling on top of the Atlantic Ocean. So I wanted to bring that to your attention because the air is going to get thick. The air is going to get bad. I've spoken with people in Puerto Rico, and it's absolutely horrible. So you guys, it's always good to be ready and on guard for that. demandingthetruth.com. You can head over there. Please subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Facebook. I love you guys so much, and prayers out to all of you guys in these hard times. And if not one person today told you, oh, hold on a second. I wanted to end with this. I was setting the show up, and I thought, you know what? This popped into my head. So I don't know why it popped in my head, but may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. I love you. And if not one person today told you that they love you, I do, and so does he. I hope you guys enjoy the ending. And on that note, let your comments on what you think. I'll talk to you guys sooner than later. We've got a lot of really awesome stuff coming up on the show. Subscribe, and please share this. It's very important. I'll talk to you sooner than later. God bless.
Careful who you cross, careful who you test. Give me your worst and you'll get my best. 'Cause I don't know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. Careful, I'm a lion, don't test my pride. Standing like a mountain, looking the devil right in his eyes. Know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. Fighter. Got no limits, I got no fears. Only got my blood, my sweat, and my tears. Know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. No, I don't know how to back down, how to back down. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. I am a fighter. Like smoke from a gun, like a brand new sun. Since the day I was born a fighter, I rise up, I rise up. Like smoke from a gun, like a brand new sun. Since the day I was born a fighter, I rise up, I rise up. Like smoke from a gun.